If you're a fitness coach who's stuck anywhere from 5 to 10K per month and you've hired on help to help scale your business, but you're still feeling the bottleneck, this will explain why. Most coaches think they need more people to scale their business, and this is absolutely not true. I've worked with multiple 6 and even 7-figure fitness coaches, and I will tell you firsthand, you usually don't need more people. You need the right machine for you and your business. Let me break down for you the exact backend shift that we use with all of our top performing fitness coaches who are making anywhere from 5 to 10K per month and stuck there, but with this shift got to 20, 30, or even 100K per month. Now, let's break it down for you guys. Going through this document, we're gonna start out by where you might be right now. So you might have just recently hired on a closer, maybe a setter, maybe you got some contractors who are supporting you, right? But you're still feeling that bottleneck after you've hired for help. You know, you've gone through these processes, but still, you're still chasing leads. You're still chasing your team. It's very, very hard for you to step away from your business, and you're still juggling 5 different tools to use one job. Because the stress that we encounter after we hire on more people, if we don't have these right systems in place, ends up being a stress of you being all over the place and being pulled in 5 different directions at once. See, your growth can feel capped. Even if you're at 100K per month, you still feel stuck. And the reason being is that most coaches out there, they try to scale with people, but instead what they need is the machine. Just for some food for thought. If your business needs you to remember to follow up, assign a task, or move a lead, you are the system, and that's exactly why you're stuck. So if you're the one who is still doing these tedious tasks after hiring on, people to support you, and you're still feeling being pulled in multiple different directions, it's because of the systems that we have in place. This is kind of what we call the hidden plateau. This is anywhere from when you're around 8 to 10K per month. Because at this point, you're making money and you're feeling successful. You're starting to do really good for yourself. But you want to get to that next spot, that 20K, 30K, maybe even 100K per month. But you know right where you are right now in the systems that you have in place, it's going to feel impossible to get there. I bet you're watching this and you're like, how could I even imagine being at 100K with what I have right now? And that's okay. This is what most coaches are doing, and this might be similar to what you're doing, right? They're going to be manually tracking leads. What are high-performing coaches who are scaling past 10K per month doing? They're using a real-time dashboard. They're able to actually track their insights from these leads, and it's not just a guessing game. You're also probably in this case right now where you're using 5 different tools to duct tape, all duct tape together, right? You might be using Calendly, you're using Typeform, you might be using Google Forms for your coaching intake form. And it kind of feels like you're all over the place with all these different systems. You might be paying more and more on subscriptions now each and every month as well because you're getting pulled in all these different directions. But what do high-performing coaches do? They have everything all in one ecosystem. So they may be using even higher prestigious platforms, but the platforms that they're using is going to be an all-in-one platform. Think of this kind of as like your Trainerize, but for the back end of your business. Most coaches, again, once you've hired on, you're going to be hoping that either your setter, your VA, or your closer, whoever you brought on, you're just praying that they're going to figure it out. What high-performing coaches do is they build systems that guide the output. If you just tell your VA, your closer, your setter to go do X, Y, and Z, but they don't know what it takes to get to X, Y, and Z, they don't understand those steps, they're just going to be coming back to you, and it's like you're doing the job all over again, but now it's delayed, and now you're even more stressed out because you're doing work that you were supposed to be doing, and now you're helping with something that you hired on someone else to do. It's important that we have these systems because it complements every addition to our team as well. Most coaches, and I know that this is the case for you guys, are chasing your leads in your DMs. But what are high-performing coaches like Mr. Optimal doing? Automated first touches and follow-ups. We never have to reply when someone sends us a keyword. If we're saying, hit us with the word scale to receive that free training, you best believe that none of our setters, none of our closers, none of our VAs are sending out that message. It's all automated, all from that one ecosystem. And kind of like what I said before, what's the really dangerous part about this is that you might look successful at 10K per month and you might feel good at 10K per month, but under the hood of everything, it's all held together by you. You're the one who's on top of absolutely everything. You're grinding 10 to 12 hours in your business every single day. You're in the front end, the back end, and on the client end of things, and you're getting pulled all over the place. There's no structure to the systems into your actual back end of your business. Instead, it's everything's being held together by you. And let's show you a little mini example here. So like, let's say you hire on a DM setter, which might be something that, is probably going to be one of the first steps for many of you. And you'll just assume that they're going to message leads, but there's no tagging, there's no system, there's no automation. So they drop the balls and they drop the ball and you blame them. But the problem was they were in the plane, but they didn't have the cockpit to fly the plane, right? There was no system in place for them to actually do what you needed them to do. Instead, you just said, build a plane and go fly it. You didn't give them that cockpit, those systems to sit on the back end, which help operate the back end of your business for everyone else who's coming on board. And then after we go into here, after we've talked about all of this, what is it that's actually going to get us to that 20 to 30K per month? And now let's break down the non-negotiables that you need to scale. So number one is going to be a centralized inbox, right? You might be running most of your, your organic traffic or ads coming in from social media, but as time goes on, you give out your personal number, especially when people are going in for calendar bookings. You better not be messaging them back through Instagram DM or on Facebook, right? You're texting those people's numbers. And the benefit of using an ecosystem is that everything is in one place. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. From your Instagram DMs, your Facebook messages, to your text messages, to your emails, to your phone calls, all being in one centralized inbox that you will never have to bounce around. So there's no more app hopping. There's no more, no more leads being missed because one lead was on a program over here, a software over here, and one lead was on a software over here. Everything is centralized. Coming off of that too is going to be automated DM and comment follow-up. And this is so important for social media creators who are pushing their business, such as online coaches like yourself, because when someone replies, with a certain keyword, we're going to be sending them auto DMs, right? So instead of, again, and let's say you make a post and you get 150 comments on it, it absolutely pops off. How will you have time to respond to every single one of those DMs? It's going to feel monotonous and it feels so hard. And that's why you use systems that will automatically do this for you. And that works for not only comments on your Instagram page, but also keyword DMs, right? Which are very, very beneficial, right? And we already know from going through these courses that how beneficial using those keywords in our DMs can be. So having that automated as well too, that takes away the first 10 minutes of the conversation, all done for you. As well as, like I said, it's going to be lead tagging and pipelines. So what this is going to do is it's going to give you a visual understanding of where each and every single lead is inside of your pipeline. Are they a warm lead? Are they a cold lead? Have they booked in calls with us in the past? Have they no-showed or ghosted us before? Are they broke? Are they very qualified but just not ready right now? It allows you just to have a customized pipeline for your leads to understand where each and everyone is at. Because if you're just having your Instagram DM inbox, right? How do you organize that into hot lead, cold lead? How do you know who to follow up with, right? It's not like you can have a tab in your Instagram inbox of people who you should be following up with, but these systems will not only do that for you, but it'll track the pipelines and stages of everyone so that you never miss a lead. No leads ever go unturned. On top of the automations that are already included into this is going to, everything through these systems are automated. In terms of like a client onboarding, bookings, etc., those are all done together. So you're not going to need softwares anymore, such as Typeform, such as Calendly, such as DocuSign, because an all-in-one platform is actually going to include all of these into one. That means that you're not going to be bouncing around from 4 to 5 different programs that you're using for your coaching business. Everything's going to be centralized all in one place. And the benefit to that is that everything can all happen automatically. such as from an intake form to booking their calls, that can all be done by the lead so that you'll never have to book in a call. You'll never have to send out another appointment reminder. It'll all get done for you. Kind of going off of this as well is that using a system that integrates all of these, you're going to be able to get your own dedicated business phone number. And when you use these softwares, they are so cheap. You're paying about $1.15 for your own business phone number, which one allows you to maintain control of your life, but as well as your client's life and your lead's life, because one, they're not getting intertwined with your personal day-to-day communications. They're not getting lost in your text messages where you're probably texting your friends, your family, loved ones, potentially, your colleagues, etc. It allows your business and your personal life to be separated. And that also is going to alleviate stress from you in the long term, right? You're never going to be getting text messages to your actual phone number anymore. Rather, it's all going to be going to that centralized inbox with your own dedicated business number. On top of this, another system that we have used again and again, and this here is what's really going to help drive home getting you past that 10K per month, are the fully connected done for you VSL funnels. So these are connected directly off of your Instagram, and these are the free training funnels that we build. More than likely, you went through a free training funnel in order to get here at some point. They work so well. They work well for all of our clients. Usually, most of our clients, 80-90% of our clients, use the free training funnel method. It is an actual hack of how well this works. But the benefit of using it inside of an ecosystem is that everything is all done intertwined, right? So it's not like your funnel's on one program and your calendar's on another program and your intake form's on another program. Everything is intertwined. You're building a system here. You're not adding parts to your business, which are going to make it harder and harder to manage. You're bringing everything into one place, as well as a KPI dashboard. And this here is going to be so beneficial for you and your contractors who you have working with you, because this is going to track information such as your show up rates to calls, such as your your response rate to text messages. It's going to be showing you the amount of intake forms that you get versus the amount of booked calls that you get, as well as it can track the revenue that you are generating month to month within your business. So it basically brings your Stripe dashboard inside of your business, but this also intertwines with all of the other tracking that we can use, such as, tracking on your actual funnel. So we understand how many people are actually coming through your funnel, what those percentages look like of intakes. We're also able to see how many people are actually showing up to these calls. What's our show up rate? So that way, when you are working with your contractors, you're able to pinpoint what the actual causes of problems are, right? Because if you're just saying, I'm not making enough money, but you don't know how many people are showing up to your calls, you don't know how many people are missing these calls, you don't know how many people are rescheduling calls, then you're never really gonna know where to plug and play and fix these problems within your business. And then on top of this, when you use an entire ecosystem, every VA, closer, setter, they all have their daily tasks, they all have their daily to-dos, all in one system. So you're not micromanaging, you're using one machine. You're not tracking someone on your Instagram, someone on the back end of your business, someone doing this, someone doing that. Everything's all in one. It's not always about, bringing on more systems and bringing on more people. Sometimes it's about building that ultimate powerhouse, because if you just keep on adding additions to your business, that's gonna be more stresses for you, more things that you have to manage. And again, that's gonna be more people that you have to hire on. Rather, when you bring everything all into one system in a powerhouse, you're gonna be able to run off a leaner team, and everything will be so much more manageable for you. So a little training moment for you guys. So you don't scale by doing more. You scale by removing yourself while the system keeps driving results. Because like I said at the beginning of this, sometimes when we hire on more people, it's not like it takes away that work and that stress. It just kind of creates stress in new areas if you don't have the proper machine behind everything. Kind of like the example I was saying about the plane in the cockpit. How could you expect to hire someone to go fly your plane, but you don't have a cockpit and you expect them to get from one destination to the other? They're probably going to call you up and say, hey boss, I can't fly this plane, But if you give them that cockpit, if you give them those resources, they're going to be able to take off with that and work with everything. And like I said, it's all in one place, making it so much easier for you to manage everything and still do your day-to-day tasks as well. When I talk about this all-in-one system that we build for you guys, that we can build for you guys, I talked about how it brings everything from multiple different some different softwares that you're already paying for all into one. From doing this alone, right now, this probably looks something like you. You're probably paying $30 a month for Typeform. You're probably paying about $40 a month for DocuSign, about $20 a month for Calendly, and about $50 a month for Zapier to bring everything all together. At least you're missing out on at least $1,000 a month from missed follow-ups without having those automations. And ghosted leads that you forget about, that could be an additional $2,000+ per month that you're missing out at. And all of that because everything isn't connected into one system. You're not only spending ridiculous amounts of money on multiple programs, but you're missing out on so much potential revenue as well. So our clients replace that with one clean built to scale system. This system, we build it once and it lasts forever. To reiterate this, contractors aren't the answer. They're the amplifier. So I'm going to tell you guys a little truth that not many people tell you. So contractors, they won't fix your back end. And I've experienced this firsthand. Not only do I work with a team full of contractors, but I've worked with many teams full of contractors. I've worked with teams with systems and without systems. And I will tell you firsthand, when you give contractors, if you give them chaos, right, they're going to amplify it. But if you give them structure, they're going to scale it. So if you come in and you tell them, hey, we have 5 different systems. I need you managing these 3. I'm going to be managing these 2. That's chaos. That's chaos all in one. That's a disaster waiting to happen right there. So your backend decides whether your team drives revenue or will create more of a mess. Because I will first-handedly tell you that there are so many times where I've seen businesses try to scale, bring on more contractors, and what did they end up doing? They end up bleeding money because they just didn't have the systems in the back end to fulfill everything they needed. Going in and giving some final insight. When we bring all of this together, the problem for you, again, it's not your offer. So get that out of your head. You've already gone to 10K per month or 5K per month. Your offer is probably pretty freaking solid. It's not the fact that you have a lack of leads. I will tell you first-handedly, systems will always be more important than how many followers you have on your Instagram. I've seen people who are making 30K a month with less than 5,000 followers. But it's definitely also, like I said, if you're already here at that 5 to 10K per month mark, it's not your VA or your closer's fault, right? You're the one who trained them. And like I said, it's probably not your offer or your lack of leads. It's just because of the systems that you have in place, right? You're stuck in that same system. And at the moment you remove yourself, the business will start growing, right? But too many people are afraid to take that step. I'm going to show you guys some examples of our clients when they do take that step. And I'm going to start off with my boy Alistair right here, Mr. Optimal. Alistair went from juggling DMs every single day, doing everything in his business. He would have consistent months of hitting, 10, 15, 20K, and then he would have inconsistent months of, basically hitting nothing. He was all over the place for a little bit. And then when we came together and we formed a structure, he is now consistently hitting 100K a month. We hit our first 100K month last month in April of 2025. And in May 2025, we're on track to hit our second consistent 100K month. It didn't just bring him from zero to 100K per month. Like I mentioned, he was kind of juggling in that area. He was scaling and he was growing, but he didn't have any systems in place and he was all over the place. He was using like 4 to 5 different programs all within inside of his business, and everything was a mess. To now, we're consistently hitting 100K a month. Hayden Dean, who was at a plateau before coming into our systems, he is now generating 30K consistently a month, and he's an active Marine. So he's in the Marine Corps, right? An active Marine. He's, after using our systems, still as an active Marine, he's making 30K a month. Ryan Reeling, he was manually running absolutely everything. And again, he is now making 30K a month. In his first month of using our systems, he bought himself a brand new Mustang. This is my boy, Akib. We are working together right now and he's killing it. And when we started, he was hustling, no systems in place. He was pretty much similar in the same case of Alistair, where he was doing good, but not consistent. He didn't have the systems in place to consistently do everything he needed. And on top of this, he's going in for his school. He has to work a 9 to 5 in between these semesters. So he needed to build systems in place to, one, allow him to still be in school, working from 9 to 5 every single day, and allow him to be a fitness coach in the evening times as a part-time gig. With the systems that we have built for him, he is now generating $30K consistently a month. And that is with a high converting funnel and backend. Akib can do it at, again, he's 21 years old in school. Ryan Reeling, his first month, he bought a Mustang. Hayden Dean is an active Marine Corps, is in the Marine Corps, an active Marine, making $30K a month. And Alistair was all over the place, and now he makes $100K a month. None of them are working 90 hours a week. None of them spend all day working on their business. They've just built a machine that works with or without them. I will tell you first-handedly, if Alistair stepped away from his business for a week, he would still make $100K that month, even if he was away for that week, right? As long as these boys were still posting on social media, they could step away from their entire business in the back end, and they would still be consistently making what they're making. And that's pretty powerful. So if you're a fitness coach who is sick of spinning your wheels and being pulled in 5 different directions at once, and you are looking for an actual plan to start scaling your business, what I want you to do is click below this video and book your free backend audit call today. On this call, we will audit the entire backend of your business, show you what's broken inside of the backend of your business, lay out the exact systems that we use to help scale our clients, such as Alistair, Hayden, Ryan, and Akib. And on top of that, we will give you an entire roadmap to build the ultimate backend powerhouse for you and your business. No pressure, just clarity. Even if we choose not to work together, you'll still leave that call with a full actionable plan. But if we do choose to work together, we'll build out this entirely for you. Just click the link below to book your backend audit call today.